This is the future.
It's finally July, and we are weeks away from TennoCon 2022, and the final reveal of the biggest update this year for Warframe named Duviri Paradox. But before the grandest event for Warframe this year, Digital Extremes laid out an event, which is in my opinion, almost the best event that you should partake in right now. Why almost, squad leader? The event I'm talking about is the Double Affinity Weekend and, should be Double Resource Weekend, which will happen before we get into TennoCon. With this event, you will earn double affinity and resources across the Origin system from July 11th to July 17th leading up to TennoCon. The best part about this is that the affinity and resource booster does stack with your current resource and affinity booster, giving you 3 times affinity and resource. But that's not where it ends, as if you have a Smeeta Kavat, and it procs either resource or affinity chance, then you will get 4 times resource or 4 times the affinity within the mission. It's quite useful, especially for those players that are looking to max rank their favorite Warframes and weapons. It would be the easiest way to max rank Warframes in missions like the Telsto Carpet Bomb, or even in the Sanctuary Onslaught. And it would be cool to level up your weapons in the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, taking only 3 minutes or less to max rank one weapon, even if they are a Kuva or Tenet weapon reaching to max rank 40. It's not just a preparation guide for Duviri Paradox, but a way to finally get all of your equipment at max rank. By the way, if there's one thing I can suggest right now, is leveling your operator and drifter. What I mean by this is getting decent amps for your operator and those arcanes, and even getting those focus school up. This is not yet confirmed, but we might see an operator or drifter only open world in Duviri Paradox. Take this with a grain of salt, as it's not official, but if you got extra time playing Warframe, then this might be the right time to max operators and all your types of equipment. I'm very pleased about Double Affinity Weekend, but I was excited with the double resource boosters. 4 times stacking can let me farm endless Kuva, Steel Essence, and resources needed for my Helminth system also. Not to mention, that you can just stay in one survival Steel Path mission and farm all you want. And, I'm guessing the Zariman bounties will also get affected, allowing fast to Void Plume farm. However, it got cancelled, and it was supposed to be the first double resource weekend since 2020. So, why did it got cancelled? Well, this is the funniest part, in my opinion of course. I think it's not because Digital Extremes don't like the amount of things you farm from stacking boosters and the charm buff of Smeeta Kavat. I think this is not a reason, and it's kind of funny because some of you guys in my community asked me to do a video about somehow reviving the idea of double resource weekend. It's not that Digital Extremes can't do it, or don't like to do it, it's just because there is a system in the game, a very weird security system that penalizes you for farming too much stuff in the game. For new players, and mesmerized by the level cap levels, or those doing hours of endurance runs against level 9999, then you might get bamboozled once you know what will happen to your account after doing hours of survivals runs and farming tons of things. Aside from the obvious rewards, and tons of resources that you need for crafting stuff in the game, there is a penalty for doing endurance runs in the game, and that is being banned from trading for weeks. Yes, this is a thing in Warframe wherein if you farm tons of stuff, then you will be rewarded with a ban from trading for a couple of weeks, especially if you are farming prime parts from Void Fisher missions. It's ridiculous, I know, as if you think of it. The double affinity weekend feels weak compared to a double resource weekend, and I think that double resource weekend is much more rewarding, simply because affinity can be gained easily within the game. Compared to resources, there are lots of resources that you need, especially if you are a new player. Think of this, would you rather have an event that allows you to max rank all your favorite Warframe for just a couple of minutes, or would you want to gain 30k Crotics, a lot of Oxiums, Steel Essence, Kuva, and more resources in just a few minutes? If you think of it, affinity is pretty easy to get, but double resource weekend somehow feels better since it feels an actual boost to getting the things you need. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind having double affinity weekend, but I think Digital Extremes should slap double resource weekend also while we wait for TennoCon 2022. Well, let's admit it though, even if I said that I think DE won't allow us easy farming is not the reason. Deep inside, I can feel that they don't want us to farm everything in just a week. It's a matter of keeping players enjoying the game for a week because of the event, or keeping them from playing for months because they haven't farmed the necessary things to craft their Warframe or weapon. I think we won't see any double resource weekend event, and we can only expect either double affinity weekend, double credit weekend, or both in one event. And now, I would like to know your opinion about this. Do you find the trade ban after farming tons of stuff ridiculous? Do you want a double resource weekend, or do you prefer other events? Let me know your comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.